Good afternoon, this is Tucker, and welcome to the July 26th Simpler Stocks video. I'm filling in for Chris today. He's on vacation all week, which is much deserved, and hopefully he has a great time. And there'll be a couple other people filling in during the week also. Before we get started, there's several things that Chris and I have in common. First one, as you can tell from this picture here, is we both have gray hair. The next thing is, and you can tell by our experience there, that we grew up during the rock and roll era. So both of us really love rock and roll and the blues. So this is our younger years when we were in a rock and roll band together. The other thing we have in common is both of us like to play golf. And the last thing is, I grew up in Southeast Florida, and that was about 15 miles from where Chris is living today. So I find that a little ironic also. However, when it comes to our trading, we're quite a bit different. Chris is a short-term trader. He's in and out of trade sometimes in a few minutes. So I associate him with the rabbit here. And then I'm a longer-term trend trader, using the daily charts. So we're not trading off the 15, 5, whatever. We're using the daily charts. However, I do have a couple tools that I use to help me also get to the finish line. We just have different goals for our finish line, that's all. One of the tools I use for the Simpler Stocks trend trading system is we have a scanner. We scan 800 or 900 symbols a day. And so it's still running, but let's go look at Fridays. I'll just show you how that works. You just come over here and put the date, open report, and it gives you a list of symbols. I'll make this full page. I like to sort it by long, short, and then let's just sort it by trade type. What you'll notice here is all the new setups today, they have an asterisk next to them. All of those come to the top. We separate out the long from the shorts. So you can see there's quite a few long trades there and not too many short trades. So that's one of the things I look at, right? If you're longer term trend trading on the daily charts, looks like to me, just based on the number of setups, there's a whole lot more long setups than long that, most of the symbols are tracking what the indexes are doing now, which is going up. And then after that, we have other trades that are still valid, but they're not new on that day. Let's just go look at UNH. Show you how this works. So this is a long trade. It's what we call a 5BP breakout. And we have an entry price of 144.68. We have a stop price of 147.57. Target is 159.15. We use a 10% target from our entry of our breakout trade. We have a stop, 139.12. This gives us a 2.6 risk-reward ratio, and the default is $10,000 account, so that would allow you to buy 27 shares. If you have a $100,000 account, you just set it up for 270. Tells you how much margin you're going to have in the trade also. So it gives you all the trade details right there. Let's go look at UNH. Just bring it up on a chart. So you can see this has been on a nice uptrend since early February. We've had several winning trades here. 0.6%, 2.2, 3.5, and a very small one, 0.09. And it also had a losing trade too. What you'll notice typically is the winning trades end up being larger than the losing trades because of our risk-reward ratio. As I mentioned earlier, this one has a 2.6 risk-reward ratio. So since it's a trend trading system, I'm looking for something that's trending, right? So I want all the moving averages going in the direction that I want to go in. This bottom one is the 100 MA, so you can see that's on a nice strong trend. We have shorter term ones up here, 5, 8, and 13 day. Those are in an upward movement. You'll also see we have higher highs and we have higher lows also. The other tool that I like to use is I like to use the squeeze. Because if the squeeze is firing in the same direction, then that's just extra momentum to help my trade. And we got into a breakout trade before this current one on June 30th. You can see there was a squeeze and it fired long about 3 days later. Now it has a new breakout trade, and that's going to be above this high on July the 20th. You can see that our stop aligns well with recent support. Here's the trade we just got out of today. It hit our target. This one made 11.2%. And we entered in this trade on July 1st. Once again, you can see that there was a squeeze. Momentum is positive, and the squeeze fired off a few days later on July 11th. And you can see we hit our target today. The other trade I like is something that's coming out of a consolidation period. You can see UNG was in a strong downtrend for quite a long time. We had a consolidation period here, and then we broke out around the beginning of June. Now, you're not always going to catch the whole trend, but so we missed the first part of this trend, but we did have a breakout trade on June the 20th, and we hit our target on that trade on July 1st. Once again, you can see the momentum is positive on the squeeze. We didn't have a squeeze, but at least we had positive momentum. So that's the other type of trade, is something coming out of consolidation period. We have a breakout trade on Facebook. However, earnings are later this week. This is a trade that John took some long calls on today. And you can see it's had a pullback, but it's been in a nice move up since late June. And you can see on the squeeze, the momentum has moved positive also. So the expected move this week on Facebook is about 8 points. I'm not going to set this trade up because the expected move is larger than where our stop is, and we could easily get stopped out. But nice thing about it is we know up front what our risk is. Unfortunately, if it gaps down below our stop, then that risk becomes a little bit more. Here's another one that's a nice trend. Been trending up since this squeeze fired off on May the 11th. So you can trend trade without the trend trading system if you want. You can use the squeeze, and in this case, this trade, the squeeze fired off on May 11th, and we got into a breakout trade using the system on May 17th. And then it hit its target on May 25th, and it's already in a long trade, another long trade now. So you're going to notice a common theme in all of these, and that is 100 MA is pointed up, the other moving averages are pointing up, higher highs, higher lows, and we have momentum going in the direction we want off of the squeeze. This one we had a breakout trade on July the 7th, squeeze fired off on July the 8th, and we hit our profit target on July the 14th. Let's look at a couple new setups. Once again, strong trend. Momentum on the squeeze has pretty much been positive most of the time. We have a new breakout trade. It is a few cents above this high on July the 1st. We're using a stop underneath support. So it's a few cents below this low on July the 18th. This has a 2.73 risk reward ratio. You could risk 1.5% on it. So this is JCPenney's JCP. I wanted to show you this because this is a pretty classic profile of how stocks move. They have a consolidation period, they have a move up, they have a topping, they move down, they have another consolidation period, and then they break out of the consolidation period again. So if something's not trending, but it's in a consolidation period and looks like it's trying to break out of that, that's also a good trend trade too if you can catch that trade. This one actually triggered today, and you can see the squeeze fired off today also. I want to let you know that since it's earnings season, John is doing several webinars talking about earnings secrets, and there's going to be 4 sessions. If you get all 4, it's $9.97, and you'll get the earnings analysis indicator for free as a bonus. So each session has 2 time frames in it. We're going to have one where we set up the trade, that'll be the first one, and then the one after the earnings announcement. So session 1 is this Wednesday, July 27th, 2 to 3:30, and then there'll be a morning session 8:20 to 10:30 on July 28th. And the focus is going to be on Facebook, Whole Foods Markets, Xilinx, and Baidu, and that's $297. Session number 2 is going to be Thursday 28th in the afternoon, and then the Friday in the morning. That'll be focused on Amazon, Google, Win, and ExxonMobil. Third session is Tuesday, August the 2nd, and Wednesday, August 3rd. And then the 4th session is Wednesday, August 3rd, and Thursday, August 4th. So there'll be a lot of good trades in there, and John's going to walk you through them, how to set them up, how to get out of them. And to learn more about it, just go out to simplertrading.com/secrets. Hopefully this has been helpful. Have a great week, and we'll see you on the next video.